enemy came up against your children. The enemy came up against your name. The enemy came up against your character. You will win. You will win.
Hello. Good evening. You are welcome to yet another edition of HR Hangout, the last in this series, to be precise. It's been an amazing journey talking about the business world, reaching out to entrepreneurs, discussing about issues that actually pertain to us as business owners. HR Hangouts definitely started with the career people the last season, but this season, the focus has been on business and career. And so if you have missed the last two episodes, please go ahead and watch them online at the GHCHQ handles on social media, simply at GHCHQ on YouTube and on Facebook, and also on Mixlr. And so you're welcome again to today's edition. And I'm excited to have two fantastic people, two digitally savvy people, all right? Two tech people talking to us today. I'm also happy to be able to share a bit of, my own experience when it comes to sales and marketing. And so it's going to be a fantastic time as we discuss about selling and marketing your business, the technology advantage. All right. Once again, so you do not forget, this is GHCHQ. This is Global Harvest Church, Liberty Road, to be precise. And we're happy to be here. We would like to say a big thank you again to our fathers, to our mothers, our pastors, to be precise. Pastor Femi Aladesomi and Pastor Tulu Aladesomi for this particular opportunity to be able to do this. We also thank the pastory. We thank everybody that is behind the scenes to make this happen. And so we would like to welcome you to HR Hangouts, all right? Episode 3, the last of this particular season, season 2, episode 3, season 2, all right? Before we go on, let's just say a word of prayer. Father, we thank you, we give you praise, we worship you. We thank you for today, for another opportunity to discuss, to talk about things, to learn about what concerns our business, on how we would be ready to take it to the next level, on the tools and the devices and the ways which we can actually take our businesses to the next level, especially in times like this. Father, we say, be thou exalted in Jesus' name. We ask that you speak through us. We ask that you minister unto us yourself, that Lord would become life unto us, would become tools, would become a blessing in our businesses, Father, in the name of Jesus. Amen. All right, so I have got okay, so I'm supposed to introduce both of them. One we already know, the other person you might not know that much, because funny enough, he's a member of HQ. He comes in and then breathes out. You probably hadn't seen. So for me, I'm living. Okay, sorry. Don't let me be like somebody that learned from my pastors. All right. So I would say that, okay, I would introduce you later. First, I would like Brother Demola Alimi to please go ahead with his introduction. Please, Brother Mola, go ahead, please.
Okay. So good evening, everyone, and thanks for having me on this platform. I hope I'm audible enough. My name is Ademola Alimi. Just like Brianka said, I am a member of GCHU, though I'm always in and out. I'm a weekend daddy, so that's the time I get to attend church. But it's a pleasure to be here. So I'm the head of technology and project for my company, Bots of Technologies, where we use basic IoT to support businesses in the area of document security, identity management, brand protection. And it's technology basically about providing, solutions to customers' business problems. So I've been in the industry for 15 years Right now, had my stint in banking. But right now, I'm in core IT, and what we do, like I said, is provide technology to solve business problems. I think that will be the summary for now.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much, Bro Demola. All right. So, I mean, I believe as we go on, IoT, interested. All right. So Bumi Fajigbe is okay. Sorry, I would allow her to introduce herself before I start saying rubbish. All right. Bumi, please go ahead.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, okay.
Okay. Sorry, you may not be able to see me properly. The gen just went off, and yeah, I don't have rechargeable something. Okay. Thank you, Brother Yinka, for having me here. My name is Olubumi Fajigbe, and I am a digital strategy, marketing, and communications expert. I'm also an entrepreneur. I run a wellness business, but I'm more interested right now in the tech space. So I run a nonprofit where we teach women and girls digital skills. And yeah, basically, I think that should suffice.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So fantastic. I need not say more. I just have to be very gentle and relax. All right. So just let's dive right in. I would first like to ask Bro Demola. So we've heard so much, there's a whole lot of buzz about business and technology. Everybody's talking IT, like, the world never existed before IT. Like everything depends now on technology, and so if you're not in the IT world, or if you're not in the IT business, you're not really doing anything. You could actually sometimes feel left out. What exactly is it about IT? What exactly is it about technology and your business?
Yes, thank you very much. I think technology generally is a business enabler. When you think about how you can solve business problems, just like I said when I was introducing myself, technology is there not to be deployed for the sake of it. When I mean for the sake of it, there are people who deploy technology. Oh, this is the latest technology, let's absorb it. Let's adopt it, and then you adopt and you're not really getting value. So when you think technology, you should think about solving business problem. You should think about optimizing processes in terms of process improvement. Do you have waste around you? How can you eliminate those wastes? Are you looking at revenue generation? How do you take advantage of technology to increase your revenue? Are you looking at cost reduction? How do you take advantage of technology to reduce cost? How do you think about leverage technology to, eliminate risk? And, the world is moving at a very fast pace that with technology, anything is possible. There was a time when people used to go into mines that we must have had news of mine collapse severally, where people went to dig mines just because they wanted to get, heavy metals and all that out of the place. And then the mine collapsed and people died. You understand? With technology today, you don't need people to go into mines. You can actually operate a robot remotely. Like as I'm seated there, then I'm operating a robot that is actually drilling and doing the activities in the mine. So even when the mine collapses, no life is lost. These are the kind of problems technology solve. There have been instances where, to have a surgical operation, you have to cut people through, open up, and then because of bleeding and all that, people don't get to survive. But today, with the help of technology, we have things like fiber optic surgery, where you can actually use high precision, vision devices to actually penetrate people and have, surgical operations with the most vital organs. These are things that you can do with technology. So tech basically is about solving problems, about optimizing process, eliminating risk, improving experience, you understand? Even disaster, what's it called? What is this thing called again? This COVID event, the whole thing that happened with COVID when it comes to disease control and all that. You understand? We now have genomic sequencing that can help us to, manage the spread of technology. So this is what technology does. Whenever you think technology, it's about solving problems, like I said. But I'm just trying to open our mind to what tech does when it comes to problem solving. But then in our own context, most of the time, when we discuss technology, people see, if you talk about tech and business, it looks as though it is rocket science. You understand? When you mention technology and I'm not a tech savvy person. So you just talk with that thing you've been doing. And then it's just, that is how we've been doing it since time immemorial. So you're not moving forward, you're not making any improvements, you're not expanding your business. And if we look around us, we have how many people in this group right now? 8 of us. If we all have business endeavors, there's actually a way we can take advantage of technology. So, but when we think about technology, people think sophistication and all that. Like I said, it's not rocket science. The first thing is even having that change in mindset. Are you willing to, what exactly are you doing? Are you willing to improve? What are those problems around you? If you look at your business, what are those problems that you have? How can you improve it? That should be your first question. How can I improve my revenue? I have a shop, a brick and mortar shop that is situated in one particular location. How do I ensure that I'm able to market my product beyond borders, beyond the people that are just walking past? You understand? So don't worry about the technology. First, think about those capabilities. It starts with that change in mindset. And that is the most important thing. You have to be able to, like I said, embrace technology, have a shift in mindset, have a problem-solving mentality, not normalizing status quo, but rather challenging it. Think about improvement. How can I improve myself? How can I improve my business? How can I create new opportunities? How can I generate revenue? So when you're able to answer all those questions, the ultimate goal, like I said, is eliminate waste, generate revenue, optimize processes, and improve your customer experience. Because if you're able to do all this, you're going to get value. After you've achieved this change in mindset, the next thing is, how can I take advantage of technology? You understand? To leverage it. So it's not always about technology. Don't worry if you're not tech savvy. You can still take advantage of technology. The most prominent business transformers in the world today are people who have been able to have that mindset, and then they take advantage of people that are tech savvy, you understand, to solve their business problem. So I think I'll just pause there right now. But the summary is to disabuse our mind. If we are here in this meeting and we ever think the first thing about being tech savvy is technology, no, it is not. The first thing is having that shift in mindset, that problem solving mentality, that sense of continuous improvement. And that sense of challenging those situations that are impeding your progress. And then you can now ask yourself, how can I take advantage of it with technology? You can outsource the technology, let the tech people worry about it. You'll be so shocked the kind of value you'll be able to realize from just having that shift in mindset. So I'll just leave it at that for now.
I mean, you talked for a very short period, and there's just a whole lot in that discussion. There's just so many things going on. I just want to let us break it down into bits and pieces. I mean, the first thing for me would be beyond tech. You've talked about the fact that there's a mindset even behind the tech discussions, or behind the tech mindset. There is, or rather, there are fundamental things to actually consider. I mean, you've talked about what problems are you solving. You've talked about how can I improve my customer experience. How can I minimize waste? How can I maximize profit? I mean, these are things that are very key and important, even beyond the sophistication of saying, look, I'm doing tech. These are fundamental business principles that we need to actually imbibe. I mean, the question a lot of time that comes to my mind, or that I pose to business owners, is the fact that, look, your business, what exactly is different about it? What problem is that business solving? Just to take us back to the definition of what marketing is. I know a lot of people say, I'm in marketing, I'm doing marketing, and actually they're actually into sales, or they're selling and they're not marketing. Marketing is the sum of all the processes and ways in which a company finds out, discovers the needs of the people and tries to solve that need or provide solutions to those needs while making profit, through that process. It could be products, it could be solutions, it could be services, whatever form it is. The idea is that you are trying to solve problems. It's that you're looking at a particular area, you're looking at something in particular or a particular business and saying, look, I want to solve the problem. And that's probably one of the best ways to actually do business. Now, the question then is, yes, I have gone beyond that point. This is the choice this is what I have decided to do. The question then is, your product, what exactly, or your solution or your service, what stands you out? What exactly makes it different from other people's businesses or from other people that have those kind of products? How do I stand out? What is my unique purpose? What is my unique selling point? What are the things that I'm doing differently from what everybody is doing? Now, Bumi, I don't know if you can, if you're there, if you can hear me very clearly. The question, or the comment that I would like to hear from you is, how can I then use technology as a tool in actually meeting those kind of problems, in solving problems, in understanding what my customers want, right? So for example, let's break it down and bring it up. So for example, I am into cakes, right? I bake, I am a baker, right? And there are many bakers all around. What are the things that I can look out for to help me understand what the market is saying? How do I identify the need in the market using technology?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so thank you for that question. So I deal with women who, because we usually say SMEs, but SMEs are actually larger than the kind of businesses that we run. Although by God's grace, we will scale up. So what kind of tools can you use, right, for your micro businesses? I'm just going to say SMEs because that's what we always see. So we have research tools that you can use, and they're not so difficult to use. You can start with that: market analysis, social media insights. So, for example, if you're on Instagram or Facebook or even Twitter, any social media platform, these days they have their analysis tools that you can go to. So you see the kind of people that are following you, their demographics, their location, their age range, their gender, and all of that. So you can use this kind of information to strategize. So if for example, you're running a business, maybe it's a like baking business, and then you check your insights on social media and you find out that it's mostly women that are following you, it means that all your marketing activities should focus more on women than on men. And then you can also use research tools for surveying. So you can set up surveys, online surveys. You can use platforms like Google Forms. There are some others that I can't seem to remember now, but you can use survey platforms. You can also use CRM platforms like email marketing, text messages, and all of that. So, but before you can use that, it means that you have a customer database, which is one thing that a lot of people miss out when they are using social media. I don't know if there's time to go into that, or I should just go ahead and say what I want to say about that.
Okay, so right now we're still, yeah, I think you can go ahead, because right now we're still talking about, we're still at ideation stage. We're looking at, what your market is, what's the idea itself, and then how to identify, look, this is the need, this is what I want to go after, before even, we start talking about the level of analytics, that you're doing and all of that, right?
Oh, okay. Okay, so so that would be research, right? That would be research. So like market research, who are the people in this area that are doing what I am doing, and how are they doing it differently? And how can you do that? Just go online, type, so for example, you're a baker, type bakers if you're in Ibadan, bakers in Ibadan, right? You can go to Google, you can go to Instagram, you can go to Facebook, type bakers in Ibadan, check out what they're doing, how they're doing it. From there, you can see how you can do yours differently to stand out. We talked about your unique points. I don't know whether it's today or last week. I don't know. I keep hearing your voice everywhere. So I know you talked about unique selling points. Yeah. So that will help you when you do your proper market research. It will help you to stand out, even though there are so many other people doing the same thing in the same industry.
Okay.
So, let me just support Sister Bumi.
Please go ahead.
Research is very important, and just like you said, it's when you're going to war, you just have to know what you're up against. So research is actually very key, and the marketplace is like a battleground. You just have to go with your full arsenal, or with the right arsenal. That's what is most important. So research, but some research you have to be guided. What exactly are you even researching? You understand? I'll just drop a few tips of some of the things we can be doing, because when you're going to, if you're attacking a particular market or a particular product, most of the time what happens is that in that particular sector, there are certain people that are overserved in that sector. You understand? So you have a giant. Most of the time when you have a giant in the market, the giants are already big. They have a strategy which is to deploy the best product, deploy the best resource. You understand?
Yeah, okay. I think there's a network glitch.
Build the best product for the best customers, because
Okay,
it's the best
back.
customers that pays the bills. You understand? So it's a deliberate strategy for a giant in the market. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can
Hello?
hear you. You're back now.
Hello?
You're back.
Hello?
We
Okay.
can hear you.
Okay, so I don't know what I said. It's most of the big players in the market. They deploy the best resource, you understand, to deploy the best product, you understand, to their best customers, because it is the best customers that actually pay the bills. So some people are left out because they don't have a choice. You want to use this product, but then that is the only thing available. So you're actually overserved in most cases. So you don't go into the market to fight that giant, because if you compete with him, he will take you out of business before you know it. You don't have the resources, you don't have. So the best strategy is, this guy is not focusing on those guys that are overserved. Those ones are actually in that market because they actually patronize them because they don't have an alternative. So if you're going to come, you're going to attack those people that. Hello?
Brother, well, go ahead.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Okay, I thought you guys were.
Go ahead, sir.
What I'm saying is, to that kind of market, you don't need to go and face the giant. You understand? Yes, I know there's a movie, Face the Giant. You don't always have to face giants. But where are those people that are currently overserved? They are always not happy. You understand? Can you just give them what is just good enough for them? And there are always many. There's this Pareto principle. 80% of the customers,
Yeah.
you understand? 20% of the customers contribute 80% of value. So is it those other 80%, they are not satisfied? They are not satisfied. So they are just tagging along, and the business actually don't really care about them, because the people bringing value are the 20%. So can you ask yourself, what do these 80%, what do they need? They are not happy. Can you just give them, don't overserve them, give them what is just good enough for them, and automatically you will just take them out. The interesting part is that while you are doing all this, the incumbents will not even notice, because they are still making their money. They will not even notice that you are gradually taking over the market, because the guys paying their bills are still paying their bills. So you come with this strategy to take this guy, give them just enough at a discounted price. They are 100% satisfied. Initially, they are not satisfied. They are 80%. Before you know it, there's a shift in consumer behavior. They just suddenly realize that, wow, there's actually a better alternative. I actually don't need this. And it happened with, what's it called? When MTN came to Nigeria, they were giving us, is it per minute or what was that tariff?
Per minute, yeah, it's per minute.
Yeah, and then Glo came and said, no, we're doing per second. They had no
Per
choice than
second.
to adjust because there was a total shift in consumer behavior. So
Yeah.
I can give lots of examples. So you don't just go into the market and start researching, you research with a strategy. You understand? What exactly is my game plan? Because it's
Okay. Okay. So,
end of the day,
all right, Brother Mala, okay, I think definitely I'm sure you'll be back. Just to continue in that light.
able to satisfy.
One thing that generally and Bumi knows this quite much. Brother Mala, your back network went off, but I think yeah. So just to go on, right, and then we'll come back to you again, for more comments. While you were talking, I just kept laughing or kept smiling because there's a joke that I always make. Not a joke. There's something I always talk to Bumi about, which is called guerrilla warfare. And so Brother Mola mentioned something now that is very key. Marketing is warfare, right? It is. That's what we say. And so when you're approaching the market, you need to basically, when you're doing your research and trying to understand the entire market, deploying tools. So I don't want to start mentioning, or we don't want to start mentioning tools that are very academic. It's about looking at very simple things like, who are the people in my area? What's the population of the people that I want to, reach out to? What's their age range? What's their income like? What's their behavior? Do they buy ice cream on Sundays? Do they eat, do they eat out on Sundays? Very, very simple questions like that you can put together. Now, the idea and, basically what Demola was talking about is the fact that you cannot, since you're just coming into the market, you're not number one, neither are you number two. You are basically going to be around number 3 and number 4. And so you should strategize. You should have your focus or your marketing focus using strategies like the guerrilla warfare, where you look at a particular niche market or you look at a particular sector of people and say, look, these are the people that I want to face. For example, I am a tailor, right? Sorry, I might not, be very clear, but this is an example. For example, I'm a tailor, right? I am not in the likes of who are the big boys in tailoring in Nigeria or fashion designing, for example. Yeah, you don't want to go after the big boys. You want to look at, so for example, you want to say that I'm looking at babies. I'm looking at girl child wears. This is where I want to focus on, because Nigeria, we would always give birth. The population is going to be like 400 million by 2023, right? So, you want to say, look, I want to focus on making female clothes, right? Baby female clothes, actually. And that might be your own niche area. And you look at it and say, look, these are the prices that I'm looking at. This is the approach to the market. And that's a whole idea. Now, we've talked about the ideation, identifying, trying to understand the gap in the market that you're looking out for, ways and tools, to deploy, or things to how you can actually get and understand the market. Now, the question is that from there, what's the next step? What do I do? How do I improve on? So it's not just for people that are starting, because a lot of us have actually started business already. Now, the question is, how do we, or what do we do when we've started already, right? What are the things that we can do to actually improve on our business processes? How can we use technology to, enhance our customer experience, enhance our services, to be precise? Bumi, over to you.
Okay. So basically, you need to have a strategy. Like that's like the most important thing, and that's what most of the people that I work with miss out. So they hear technology and Next thing they are thinking, it means Instagram. Next thing, they are jumping on Instagram, opening a profile, attacking it like no man's business. After 3 weeks, they are tired, and that's the end. The next time you hear from them is when their son turns 10. So, but now, what is important is having a strategy. Why? Because a strategy will guide you. It will let you know who you're going after. It will let you know where they are. It will let you know the language they speak and understand. It will let you know the platforms that they use. It will let you know what they're interested in. Because another mistake that we make is just putting what we do into people's faces and thinking that that's what will attract people. No, you're going to attract people by pushing what they are interested in, which is in line with what you're doing. You push that into their faces. So people are attracted to value. They're not attracted to your products, right? So they're attracted to the value that you're going to give them. Now, I do digital strategy. I'm not a core business strategist, but I know that the most successful digital strategies are the ones that stem from a top-notch business strategy. So you must already have a business strategy. This is how this business is going to run. This is where we're going in the next 5 years, this and that. And then someone like me can now come in and say, okay, these are the people that you're looking at. So you have, for example, you already have a buyer persona. You've done your business model canvas, your business plans, and all of that. And then someone like me can come in and look at all of that with you and say, okay, these are the platforms that this kind of people usually frequent and all of that. And it's not just Instagram, because I see a lot of people with that mindset that because I'm in business, it's only Instagram. And if I can't do Instagram, then that means I am not using technology. No, there are so many platforms, and I believe that there will still be time to mention some of those platforms as topic for now.
Brother Ballard, you wanna add to this, please? Did you get the question?
I didn't get the question.
Oh, okay. So the question was about what tools can I deploy, or what are the things that I can look at in actually enhancing, my customer experience, in improving my operations, in trying to get more customers to basically appreciate what I do mainly. When we talked about, having a clear-cut strategy that stems out from the business strategy, having a clear-cut strategy one, right, and then having a digital strategy that is basically an offshoot of the business strategy itself.
Yeah, I think the business model canvas which you mentioned is a good one. It kind of creates a sense of direction. It tells you what you need to do and the people you need to engage.
Sorry, can you break it down? Because I've heard it twice now. Let's break it down, right? What exactly is, the business model canvas to someone who's got a small business that he's doing, I'm a nursing mother, or I'm a wife. I'm just starting my own business. I'm putting together. What is business model canvas? So, what exactly is that? In very layman
So
terms.
I think the business model canvas is, most of the time is when we start business. For most people, they actually don't know what to do, who to talk to, who are your customers, you understand, what is your value proposition, which customer segment are you playing, who are your key relationships, what are the customer channels. So business model canvas, and if you're able to identify all these things and you fill in those gaps, it just gives a sense of direction. Like I said, the first thing you're going into a business, what is your value proposition? That means what value exactly are you offering? So the business model canvas has a column for value proposition, where you look at your product vision. What exactly are you trying to achieve? What value are you offering? You understand? Who are your target audience? So you have your value proposition, you have the customer segment. Customer segment will be the looking at the
I
millennials,
think his network. Okay.
or are you looking
Yeah,
at
it's quite unstable.
people in the north? You know, it will cut across different um, services. And my name.
Okay, Bumi, do you want to help out?
Okay, maybe I should just quickly mention that the business model canvas is actually a document. You can get it online. You can just go to Google and search for business model canvas. So it has some segments, I think like 10 segments that you can fill, ask yourself questions, fill those segments. It will help you have a clear vision of your business. So it has key partners. Who are you working with in this business? Who are the people that will be supporting you? It has your customer segments. It has your channels, which is where technology can now start coming in. So your channels will be how do you intend to reach your customers. Then it has how are you going to make money. That's the part me I like most about business model canvas. It's under how do your okay, I can't remember the title of that part, but like how do you intend to make money from this business? So
I think
it's just a yes.
I was just trying to support you. I think there's customer channels. So how are you going
Yes,
to
customer.
support your
Yes. How do you
customers?
want
Which
to
channels?
reach?
Is it
Yes.
through mobile app? You understand?
Yes.
Are they going to be accessing you through the website? Are you going to be doing door-to-door marketing? Are you going to be sending them emails? What channel is the channel of engagement? You understand what I'm saying? So what are the key relationships? Who are your key partners? You don't go into business in the 21st century, you can't actually work in isolation. In most businesses today, you probably need the service of another vendor or the other. So to deliver that service, you need key partners. Who are your partners? So the moment you're able to identify your key partners, the customer segment, your customer channel, that's the channel of engagement. What kind of relationship do you want to have with those customers? What is your value proposition? If you have all that, those are the things that encompasses the business model canvas. So once you have all that, all you need to do is just start filling the gap. Fill in those, ask those questions. Who are your customers? What value are you giving to them? What are the segments you're targeting? So that is the first thing to do. So if you don't even know what to do, it automatically guides you because with that, you can now create a roadmap, to delivering your product. So if you don't know what to do, just get a business model canvas. There are templates online. Fill those gaps, start answering those questions. Then you just kind of give your business a sense of direction.
The fantastic.
You're muted, sir.
On mute. All right. So the fantastic thing about the canvas is that regardless of where your business is, right, you can actually look at it and use it as a working document to actually add value and improve on what you have. Now, I would like us to touch on two things because I see that time is really flying very fast, right? We have talked about establishing, regardless of technology, right? We have talked about establishing a firm root, a foundation in your business strategy. What exactly is your strategy? What exactly is the product or the service that you're offering? How unique is it? What is your market like? You see, those theories are very important, or those background foundational discussions are very important in understanding, where your business is before you then say, look, I want to add technology to this process to actually either make it better, or scale it up to a higher level. Now, I would like, so the two things that I would like us to talk about, right? Bro Demola, I would like you to talk about the opportunities, the digital opportunities for businesses, right? What areas can we look at in the everyday businesses that we have? Give examples, what are the opportunities when it comes to the digital space? And then Bumi, I would like you to talk a little bit more about the use of social media, yes, is one of it, but what are the things that I should have, right, as a business in trying it when it comes to technology? And then I would try to do a brief summary about selling itself, right? What are the things that I should have as a business owner, or sorry, as a business? Should we have, is it necessary to even have a website? Is it important to have an Instagram handle. Even if I have them, what are the things that I'm supposed to do on there? There are times you engage people online and then the way they talk to yourself, you'll be amazed at what's going on. All right. So, Brother Mola, please, over to you.
Okay. I think, like I said, if you look at every single business, I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are.
Okay. If you look at every single business around, there's actually a digital opportunity. You understand? Technology creates an opportunity for practically every business. I've not seen that business. And if one had thought that technology could be taken to the minds, you understand? I'm sure nobody will believe that. It's industry 4.0. It's the new reality. So to the most mundane thing, you understand? That people, because you can look at yourself as a I don't know, I'm trying to look for the right English now. When your business is, if you're into furniture, what do they call them? That was what I was trying to get. So if you're into furniture, for instance,
interior decorator,
maybe you're a carpenter, but I don't want to use that word. If you're into furniture, you begin to ask yourself that the business is too pedestrian. I can't do with technology, I mean, there's a whole lot. And I'll tell this story. I was trying to get someone an upholstery. And then I was just looking out. The person just moved to Ibadan and it was a weekend. I was trying to see where I could get decent upholstery. And then as I was driving, I ran into a particular guy. And then he had nice upholsteries. Then I just told him, do you know that it's only people that pass this place that will know that your business is here? Have you ever considered taking getting a good photographer? Something as simple as photography, just taking nice shots of your work, is digital transformation. It's taking advantage of technology. You understand? Get good snapshots of your business. Get it on Instagram. You understand? Or you have a website and all that. These are things that is as simple as enhancing your business. You understand? With technology. And the guy did that, and then an Instagram handle and all that, and he's doing pretty well. The sales, he had to be thanking me, because probably he makes chairs and then rain will just beat them because it's somewhere outside. Right now he does this thing on demand. He's still physically there, but then he's now having access because people can actually see his work. Those are the kind of things I'm talking about. He took his business from brick and mortar, you understand, one single spot. He took it beyond borders by just taking advantage of technology. Got a photographer to take good snapshot, put it on Instagram and then Facebook and all that. I think he has a website now. And he's doing that same thing for a guy in Lagos, Omat. The guy right now supplies up to building materials to people even outside Lagos. His business is so big. So if you look at your business, there are lots of opportunities to actually digitize and expand. We have to think, how do I scale out? What are those opportunities for me by taking it beyond borders? So we have to start looking at that, creating websites, talking about strategy. You can work with logistic partners that you can set up a link where people just go to your website, make their demand in the workflow. You get it, you get your order, and then you move on. You begin to ask, like I said, it's just the mindset. It starts with the mindset because you are not going to be the one to build the website, or rather to create the link and the workflow. Outsource it to someone who has the capacity to do that. And then you derive the value, pay the person off. Don't worry about the technology. Give it to people whose business it is to deliver technology. That is one. You could have a laundry service, like I said, and then all you do is wait for people to come because you put A and B laundry service. You can actually set up a laundry service online. You have a platform where you are doing pickup and delivery service. So people can actually, like a service desk, people can go there, log their laundry with a manifest. And then you just get a nearest, integrate with maybe their logistic companies all over the place, integrate with them using geolocation services. They just plug in, the nearest guy picks it up and deliver. You understand? Offer your customer convenience. What can I do to give that convenience to my customer? I mean, that should be the thinking of everyone right now. Convenience, value, because it just is that takes this thing. So if you're able to do that and you realize that, put it on social media platform like Sister Bami said, understand your consumer behavior, analyze consumer behavior. What are those feedbacks that you're getting? You understand? That means you need to be able to, if you can get skills on data analysis, I mean, it's a nice to have, because that means that you'll be able to analyze consumer behavior. Because if you keep doing the same thing and consumer behavior shift, before you know it, your business that is thriving today will be a business of the past. So that is why we have to strive for continuous improvement. I recall when I was talking about, the essence of digital technology and the thinking, continuous improvement is one of the things I mentioned. You understand? Because you have to keep asking yourself, what can I do better? Then the next is, how can I use technology, to take advantage of it? You're a fashion designer, you can do the same thing. You understand? Have a platform where people can take your service. You understand? Online. People, I know fashion designers in Nigeria that makes clothes for people in Canada. There are lots of Nigerians that they've jackpot, but they still want to, they're still comfortable in their native outfits. You understand? So, and these guys are going to pay you in dollars.
Oh, well.
So that's the interesting part. So what are you doing to have that reach? What are you doing to make yourself visible beyond that your 4x4 shop? So these are things that we need to start thinking about. Every single business has an opportunity. You have a car wash, for instance. What stops you from, whenever a luxury car visits you, just take the shot. Show yourself how you are doing the detailing. Post it on you can use WhatsApp. You understand? These are simple ways of, taking advantage of technology. Then people know that this is what you do. Talk about cars, talk about how to take care of cars online. Let people know that this is what you do. Offer home services. People can just like Uber, you understand? They just order you to come and wash their cars at home. I personally, sometimes I come to church on Sunday, sometimes with dirty cars because I can be very lazy. If I don't mind you coming to wash in my house. So there are lots of people that need this kind of service. So you are a car wash, you think you can't take advantage of that technology. Of course you can. Integrate that service, home service, take feedback and look at what can I do to delight my customers. That is where the money comes from. How can technology help me to realize it? The same thing with mechanical engineering service. Set up a professional mechanical engineering service. Use social media platform to speak about taking care of cars. Let people know that you know about car care. You understand? Offer free diagnostic car service. You understand? Post it on social media, let people know. Before you know it, people will gather. A lot of people, by the time you gather for them to offer free diagnostic, then they start talking about how do we fix these things. Money will come from there. You understand? And you have experienced people, good people that have good customer service culture. Create a structure around that business. You understand? Offer stop gaps to people that you know that this car is going to take 30, 45 minutes or it's going to take 2 days to fix. Can you partner with car hires and leasing companies, you understand, so that they can probably just offer a stopgap? So there are lots of opportunities just by putting customers at the center. How can I improve my customer experience?
Yeah,
that is where the money is. So I mean, I can go on and on and on, but what I just want to challenge you is for all of us, everyone under the sound of my voice right now, just think within your business, what can I do to make it better? That is where the opportunity is. What is your greatest headache right now? Your greatest headache is your biggest opportunity. If you actually look at it, if you decide that you're going to face it, there's a lot of value that can be derived from that. So let's just ask ourselves. That's my takeaway from here, because for me, that's the most important thing. What am I doing right now? How can I improve on it? Who are my customers? How can I improve their experience? That is where the money is. That is where the money is.
Yeah.
How can technology do that for me?
Thank you very much, bro Demola. I mean, I was on Sunday. My wife's niece was actually playing a game that had to do with styling, and initially I didn't know it was a game. I thought it was actually an app that helped you to get styled. And in my head, I'm like, if I was a fashion designer, right, I would basically be looking for those kind of apps, right? Something that would make me style people to say, look, what style of clothing would you like? And then you put things together and you say, look, I can do this for you. You can go online and mix and match, and then we could do that. All right, but enough of that. I would say, Bumi, over to you. This is also, and I believe you will address this question also. So there's a question that says, what digital channels do I exploit to reach my desired customer segment? Said, I'm a roadside vegetable seller and food vendor.
Wow.
That's a huge one. That's a game, please.
What digital channels do I exploit to reach my desired customer segment? Roadside vegetable sellers and food vendors.
Somebody is about to become a billionaire.
Sorry. The person is saying that their customers are roadside vegetable sellers and food vendors. They offer that service to them. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So should I answer that question?
Please go ahead, answer, and then continue with the discussions on what channels to reach customers on, what things to do. Is it necessary that I have a website, for example? My social media handles, what should they look like? Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to assume that this person distributes vegetables and maybe pepper or something.
Yeah.
So it will mean that you need to offer logistics, right? Now, the technology that you would deploy is the one that will make logistics easy for the roadside food sellers. So how can they, with the touch of a few buttons, order for vegetables, for example, and get it delivered to them? So you're thinking of one of two things. You're either thinking of using platforms like WhatsApp or even SMS. The problem that we have is that when we hear technology, we think it has to be something that is so complicated. Anything that makes life easier basically is technology. Your phone is technology, whatever you can do on that phone. So if it is that you have a list of these roadside sellers and they have your number, so whenever they need vegetables or pepper, they call you or they text that number, and then you now have an app like maybe Save Border or such kind of apps that you, because they may not be learned enough to use those apps, you place the order for them on the app, put their number as the recipient's number, and then the stuff is delivered to them. Shikena, life is not meant to be so difficult. It's just that we think everything has to be difficult for it to make sense. No. Okay, I hope that I have answered that question.
Okay.
Then I move on. There was something Brother Demola mentioned, and I was having a conversation with someone yesterday, and I don't want to really divulge the business details, but so he wanted to register for the Tony Elumelu Foundation grant, and he was thinking, oh, my business idea is not so fantastic. Offering home service to people, right? And by the time he finished, I told him, I said, this is basically a technology business. And I was like, you don't even have to be the one offering the service. Just have a platform, a website, or an app. You know people that offer these services. You know people that need these services. You have the platform. That's exactly what Uber does. Uber, they don't have cars. Amazon, they don't have products. Jumia, they don't have products. They know people that need products. They know people that have products. They have a platform. So I usually tell people, especially the women in my network, that you can use technology in two ways. You can either be a woman in tech or you can be a woman using tech. So generally, you can be a business owner in tech or a business owner using tech. If you're someone in tech, that means you have a platform, a technology platform that you deploy your services through. But if you are using tech, it means that you are using somebody else's platform. So for example, if you sell on marketplace platforms like Jumia, like Amazon, eBay, you are using tech. You are not the owner of that platform, but you are harnessing technology to improve your business process. Now, to talk about platforms, so there are basically like 5 digital marketing platforms that we can all now sit down to look at and see the one that is best for our businesses, because not everything is okay for you. You're not jollof rice. You cannot be everything to everybody. So if you want to be everywhere, you just wear yourself out. So the first one is websites or blogs, right? And I will say that this is very, very important. Why will I say this? out of all these five, this is probably the only platform where you have the most, what's the English now? Like where you have the most authority, right? So for social media, there are so many rules. Don't post this, don't say that, don't do this, don't, this is hate speech, this is something, something. Before you know it, they blocked you and you have to start all over again. I know people that had like 50,000 followers and something just happened. They just lost all of that. And they did not have the customer details. And I'm going to come to that. But if you have your own website, you will be able to do so much more than just posting and engagement. Why? Because you'll be able to, you can actually digitalize your business. So you talk, Brademola talked about, and I think you also talked about somebody in the fashion industry, for example. So if you have, maybe you have an e-commerce website and your designs are posted on that website, you can also have a section on that website because it is yours, where you now train upcoming designers or you train stylists, maybe not upcoming designers, you train stylists how they can mix and match your pieces to get more customers for themselves. So you can have like a sub domain website on the site. It's your website, right? It's your property. You can write a book on fashion and use that website to promote it as well. You can start a blog and monetize the blog because you are always writing about fashion and on this blog on your website. So there are several things that you can do because it is your platform. Okay. And so there's one thing, a couple of years ago, I wrote something on Silencia's Instagram page that if you think that having a website as a business owner is a luxury, then maybe you are not ready. And somebody answered and said, a website is only for big businesses. And I smiled because why would a big business, a business that is already big, need a website? Have you ever gone to look for Coca-Cola's website because you want to know about Coca-Cola? It's everywhere now. Coke is everywhere. You don't do the right thing to get. Rather, you don't get. You don't wait until you are big to do the right thing. You do the right thing to get big. Because if people are searching, so people search. I'm sure some of us, a lot of us have searched Google. If I search Google for something, if you don't have a website, you're not going to show up. Which platform will show up? They are not going to come to your house to enumerate or something. So website, blog, very important. Then the second one, social media platforms. And again, social media is not just Instagram. There's Facebook, there's LinkedIn, for those of us who do B2C or your customers are corporate people. There's Pinterest, and there are also social messaging platforms. You have WhatsApp, you have Telegram, you have forums like Naira Land, Quora, Reddit. I don't know if some of those still exist, but I know Naira Land and Quora, exist. And then you can also do ads, video ads, text ads, they're called the search engine management. So Google ads, and then you can also do social media ads. Then another thing you can do is email marketing. And this is what I was talking about when I mentioned that I know someone that had almost 50,000 followers on Instagram, and the page was brought down and she had to start from scratch, and she's still struggling right now. Now, what if when she opened that Instagram account, where you have your link in bio, if she had created something called an opt-in, right, which is you are giving something of value and you are giving it free. So, for example, the fashion designer is giving maybe a free style sheet for people to know how to mix and match a few pieces. And before you can download this style sheet, you have to give us your name, email address, and maybe phone number or something. So for each business, what you are going to give is relative to your target audience. Again, that's where your business strategy comes in. You know who your customers are and what attracts them and where they are. So you give out something valuable. In return, you get their details. So that if your Instagram crashes, for example, you have their phone numbers, you have their email address, whichever works for you. And you are able to reach out to them. Oh, hi, our Instagram crashed. Again, it means that you have been following up. It's not because your Instagram now crashed. You are now sending message. I know you. So you have my details. You've been sending me messages. You've been keeping me updated about the fashion world. And then your Instagram suddenly crashes and you send me a message. I'm immediately going to follow you back. So that's another thing that we can look at. Like I said, people will engage with you based on value, not because you think you just have a business. Now, for online customer service, you mentioned how do we respond to people. I have had experience.
Communication to be
Yes,
precise.
yes. So I wanted to buy something online. This person is in Lagos, I'm in Ibadan. And then you posted that you have something, I think it was a freezer. And I sent a DM. Good evening, Ma. I would like to buy this. How much is it? And then she replies. And I said, oh, how much is it going to cost to get this from your warehouse to my location in Ibadan? And so the first of all, my approach was good evening, Ma. And I see hi dear. And I'm like, okay, number one.
Who's your
Then exactly, use your dear. And then the next thing is that is for the logistics to determine. And I'm like, I don't get it. You are the one selling the product. You are the one that said we should DM you to, make inquiries. And I'm asking you, how much is it going to get it to me? And you said that's for the logistics to sort out. And I'm like, I just blanked. Like I never sent any message. And I really wanted to buy that thing. And a lot of us do that. So it's okay if maybe you don't know how much it's going to cost. Can you say, I'm not sure right now. Can I consult my logistic partners and get back to you? Like this life is really not that hard. And then some people, so again, we also need to learn to follow up with people. Okay, this is something I learned the hard way, but it is easier for me to follow up online. I don't like. Anyway, so we also need to be able to follow up. So somebody DMs you and says, I want to buy this. And then the person doesn't say anything again. And you never followed up. This is that thing happened in 2020 till today. No message. But I just assume that once you are all right, she's or he or she. Yeah. But then you will now come to this same Instagram and be ranting that things are hard. Like you don't have customers. Okay. So I have one more. Okay, so now let me break down some of these platforms. So if you think maybe I can't afford to design an e-commerce website for my business right now, because there are people that sincerely cannot afford it. If you come to me to design an e-commerce website for you, we are talking 200K and above. So, but sincerely, some people cannot afford it. So can you jump on marketplaces like Jumia, like Honda? These platforms are easy to join and they have the traction that you need. So all you need to do is make sure that there are things that you're doing that is making your own offers attractive to potential clients. When you set up the name of your product, make sure that you have search keywords. I don't know if I have time to go into all of that right now, but make sure that the name of the product contains a word that when people search for that kind of product, it will pop up. Okay. So, okay, I can see that time is fast spent. So let me just
Yes.
stop here.
All right. So I was gonna say this, and also probably try to see if we can round up from there. Is that see? The truth is, we would not all, and brought this has come from Brodemola and for me over the course of our discussion, is that you do not necessarily have to be the one to do all of this, right? We will not all be, I mean, a lot of what she's saying, even though I have an idea, but I will not lie to you. I don't have the motivation to wake up one day and be typing stuff or be looking through. No, I would not, Why not look for the people that can actually help you do it and approach them and, have a discussion? That's one way. The other way is that the simple ones that you can start with and do, you have to go ahead and do them. And this also leads me to sales. Sometimes you find it difficult. The one of the biggest things to do in sales is to actually make those calls. So for example, I need to actually sell 100 products, right? To 10 people or to 50 people. You would need to make calls to maybe 100 people, right? To be able to get to those 50. That way, and there's a book called The 10X Rule. It's a fantastic book that we should actually look at. There's also I remember Pastor Smith was talking about the Blue Ocean Strategy. Is also a very good book to read when it comes to business and sales. Those two books I would recommend. It helps you to put your sales in perspective. It helps you to put marketing in perspective, of your business and, how you are able to actually to carve a niche, to sell more and to get better, to get more out of the business that you are involved in right now. So if I may say, or if I may conclude at this point, is that, look, technology is there to enhance what we have, right? But we need to get the fundamentals right first. It's not just to say that I want to use technology alone. It is an enhancer, it's an enabler rather than, the main thing. So the idea is that you need to be very clear first on what the topics are, on what the strategy is, on what the structure of the business is, on what experience you want to have with your customers, and then leverage technology to do this. Leverage technology to reach out to them, leverage technology to understand what they want, leverage technology to sell to them, leverage technology to deliver. And I believe there's a whole lot more. We've not even talked about analytics, trying to understand behaviors and all of that. Our time has really, really, really flown, all right? And so I think it's better we conclude and call it a day or call it a night. Thank you so much, Brademola. Thank you for me. It's been an amazing 1 hour and some minutes. We're really blessed, as I trust you are also over the course of the night. If you have more questions, you can just send them in. One way or the other, we will find a way to actually reach out to you or answer the questions. All right, thank you very much. HR Hangouts would come up for another season. The focus will be on something else, definitely. And I would like to say that this is Global Harvest Church. Tomorrow there is Laugh Out Loud. All right, we would like to invite you for Laugh Out Loud if you're not a member of GHCHQ. If you're a member, please bring a friend. It's tomorrow in church at the Grace Cathedral. I think it's 6 p.m. We would love to have you. My pastor will be more than happy to actually have you around. Okay. We also meet on Sundays, 8 and 10 a.m. All right, to be precise. So thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you, everyone that has made this possible. Thank you, Pastor Femi. Thank you, Pastor Solu. Thank you to Digital Media Ministry. Thank you, HRDM. God bless you. Have a lovely evening.